Hello, Laura Peters here from Dublin, Ireland. I want to talk a minute about inspiration and self-confidence, and I think a lot of times they kind of go hand in hand. I was given some paper from my team lead. She gave us some things to have a challenge, so I was given a selection of paper from this new set, and I already forgot what it's called. Fancy Flora, I think is what it's called. It's gorgeous. I mean, my son walked in and he goes, "Oh, did you paint those?" I mean, and they're flat. Just regular paper, but it looks like it has a lot of texture to it. And they're gorgeous. I love them. I think this one is my favorite. And I think I'm going to use my Lovely Lilies on this, a retired set. So I was challenged to, I was given this paper. I was given some of this from a retired set. I was given these gorgeous Calypso Coral rhinestones. Sorry, they're part of a set out of the new catalog. This paper, this ribbon, these rhinestones are all out of the catalog starting January 5th, 2023. If you don't have the catalog, let me know. Or if you want it. Anyways, that's not the point. So usually I go through Pinterest, and splitcoaststampers.com is an excellent place to find specifically Stampin' Up inspiration. And they're also really good about listing what inks and papers they use. But so usually I go through and I find something and I go, "Oh, I like that." And I don't usually have exactly what I need, but I have something close enough and I can make it work. And so I have this idea in front of me that I could work off of. And this time what I had was just supplies. And there's so many people that work this way. They're inspired by the thing, but it can be really hard. And I'm here to say that's okay. It's okay to just copy someone else, especially when you're first starting out. It's a great way to learn. It's a great way to make it fun, because this shouldn't have to be stressful. It's supposed to be a fun activity where you get something you're really proud of in the end. And if that means using somebody else's idea or somebody else's template, that's why they put it out there, to inspire you. So this one took me a while, mostly because I wanted to use this side so badly. This is part of the Fancy Flora. And I don't usually go for neutral colors, but I loved this. And so when I finally decided to use the back side, I had a much easier time with it because I didn't want to cover any of this up. That's another thing. I'm used to paper. It's an accent, but this I feel like is the centerpiece. And so this is also a thing I'm trying that I think is going to be my new fad for a while here, is using both sides of the cardstock. So I'd cut a window, of the designer series paper. So I cut a window out of the cardstock here so that I could feature both sides. I did the same thing on this one. Okay, so I want to talk about the self-doubt for a minute. I worked on this forever because, like I said, I didn't have a template that I was usually going off of. I loved these words. Sorry, I don't know if that's showing up in reverse. It says, "There are so many ways you might feel right now, ... Alone shouldn't be one of them." Oh my God, this set, Sending Thoughts. This is part of the Sale-A-Bration where you spend 60 euros and you can get this one for free. Only in January and February, so you got to act on that. But so many beautiful things. Some days are harder than others. Hope today is one of the easier ones. There's so many ways you might feel right now. Alone shouldn't be one of them. Here for you always. Courage is being really scared and doing it anyways. You've got this. Good luck. It's okay not to feel okay. I feel like a lot of people need to hear these. So I was really inspired by this. I wasn't sure what to do with them. It's hard when you're inspired by just words, because then it could go with any image, And I used this piece of the designer series pack specifically because it had more coral to go with my coral rhinestones here. And I thought the hexagons are really good. And it was also a good way to feature my Decorative Borders, which is out of the new catalog starting January 5th. I just used this one right here. But I worked on this for ages last night. I tried so many different versions. I had all the words in one hexagon. I had these words brown and these words coral. I tried different pieces of the Decorative Borders. I had them in between the words. I had them on. I was really starting to doubt myself, but I kept going and I kept adding. Like, I don't always, it's not always the answer, but sometimes add a little more, add a little more. I tried twisting this background so that it wasn't just a border, it was a different shape. I added the blue color to the flowers. I added the ribbon. I added rhinestones here, and then I added rhinestones here, and then I added rhinestones here. And once I did that, I was like, okay, I think I finally have it. I think I'm finally happy with this. And then the inside, I actually love that. Even though this seems kind of plain, I really love the effect of this lighter Calypso Coral with the darker Calypso Coral. Oh, I love it. I wouldn't say this is fancy enough to be the outside, but it's something I really love, and it's fancy enough to be the inside, and this is just the piece of scrap I was left over with. And again, here, I thought I had this all lined up. I see the corners here. See how that's not lined up with the words? And I was like, you've got to be kidding me after all this. Oh, and I added, that's the other thing, I added some brown sponging around the edges, you know. And I'm like, I don't care. It's good enough. So a couple of things I want you to take away here when you're doubting yourself. So about inspiration, copy someone else. Do it. That's why they're there. They're there to inspire you. Make it work with what you have. A perfectly valid way to do it, because you know what? By the time you've made it, it's almost never exactly the same. You've made it your own. It is now your own thing. You can be very proud of that. And self-doubt, put it away and come back to it. Well, in this case, keep adding a little bit more. But I find if you put it away for a few hours, even a few days, and then you come back to it, a lot of times I come back to it and I'm like, I don't even remember what I hated about it. It's gorgeous. What was I thinking? The other thing, most of the time, I'm not going to say all the time, most of the time, the people that you're going to be giving these to aren't card makers. They're not professional artists. They're probably not even crafters. They're going to have no idea the mistakes you made or how you should have done it better, or they've never seen the original. They don't know what it was supposed to look like. They only know the gorgeous thing that you made. So if you really have worked hard on something and you don't like it, put it away for a couple days, come back to it and look at it with fresh eyes. I think you'll be really surprised at how much you love it and how proud you are of it then. And if it's something that you're still like, I don't love it, give it to your least crafty friend. They'll have no idea. So I hope this helps you have some confidence in your stamping journey. And I hope that you get excited about some of the new sets, especially sending support. Oh my God. I feel these so hard right now. Like, I'm actually very happy and content in my life at the moment, but I still get all the feels when I read these. And I'm like, I need to make 1,000 of these cards. Wait till I show you the tacos that are coming in the mail next week. I'm going to make 1,000 of those too. Happy stamping!